Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and the Buick Envista offers premium car styling and features at a much more accessible price than you might expect. But if you recently got yourself a new Envista, congratulations, you might have a few questions on how to use the technology in here. So in this video, we're going to show you how to use the driver's information display here in front of us, as well as the 11-inch touchscreen in the center. We're going to go through and try to answer any of your questions you might have on how to work this car. First things first, if you do want to see more on the Envista, check the link below. We've got our full review. We've also got a sound system demo on the 6-speaker audio system here. You can find that linked below. And I highly recommend, if you're spending a long time with this car, or maybe you just got one, take some time, park in your driveway or parking structure somewhere safe, and learn how to use the vehicle. Be parked like this, maybe follow along with the video, or just poke around, get comfortable and familiar with all the controls. You're going to enjoy using your vehicle that much more. First things first, let's take a look around at some of the controls. Starting way over here on the far left down low, you've got an adjustment for how far open your power lift gate will open, either max or 3/4 if maybe you've got a low garage door opening and you don't want it smacking up into the top. Then coming around over here, you've got adjustments for the brightness of the screens. I like having a physical control for that. And then physical controls for your headlights right there. Turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock, and then on the steering wheel, you've got controls on the left for your cruise control, on, off, set, resume, and just following distance there, and then your heated steering wheel button in this ST model. Over on the right side, we've got voice control activation, phone hang-up, controls for, I thought it was this screen right here, isn't that right? Click? No, okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah, if you press either the music icon or the phone icon, then you can scroll through and change your audio sources or make phone calls right here from the center screen. And then behind on the steering wheel, on the left side, you have track controls, and on the right side, you have volume controls. Taking a look here at the screen in front of us, I will say, one of my small complaints with the Envista is the screens are a little hard to see, especially in the daylight. We're in the shade right now. Hopefully the camera's picking everything up okay. But the font is subtle, and the contrasts are very high, and the screen's a little dim, even at max brightness. But hopefully you can all see okay. On the top left, we've got a compass. Coming down from there, we've got our fuel gauge and our coolant temperature gauge. Bottom left, you have distance to empty and fuel. Center, you've got your gear selected. On the right, we have our odometer. Center gives us both a subtle analog display for speed as well as a digital readout, and then the top right has some information for cruise control if it's enabled, lane centering, and following distance. Then making our way into the center, let's take a look down. We've got physical climate adjustments. I love having those. We've got temperature and fan speed, as well as various directionals on and off, and then our heated seats. Continuing down, way in the center, we've got our wireless device charger on this model, as well as a USB-A port and a USB-C port, both supporting data. Hiding up here behind the shifter, we've got active lane keeping on and off there, and then engine stop-start on and off, a big shifter, and then our electronic parking brake. And our last physical control up here, a little volume knob that you can press to turn music on or off. Now making our way into the center screen, it's a simple and straightforward infotainment system. Along the left, you have customizable icons that get you to different functionalities of the system. Then along the top, you have a little bell for any notifications you might get from the system. You can click that, and then that comes down. Center, you have your device information for which device is connected. So we see our Pixel 9 Pro is connected, our battery status, and our signal strength. Continuing along the top right, we have outside temperature and then a clock. I believe, can you click the outside temperature to get anything? No, but if you click the clock, then it's a shortcut to get to, come on. There we go, date and time. You can see there is a little bit of a delay in this system. Then this is essentially your home screen. So it's going to give you any applications that aren't already saved over on the left. For example, we have traction control, climate, settings, Wi-Fi hotspot, and phone. And then over on the left, we have media, CarPlay, Android Auto, vehicle status, and then home. But you can customize what's over here. So say, for example, you have all iPhones, you're never going to use an Android. You can touch and hold that, bring Android Auto back into the center screen, and then maybe take something like settings. Come on. hold it long enough and then drag and drop it over there. See, you can readjust things. I personally use Android Auto, so I'm going to have that up here, but it's nice to be able to customize what you got there. So let's start way here on the top left with media. You can see it's bringing up your current source, and then you can click right here to bring up your other sources. We've got AM, FM, Sirius XM, satellite radio, Bluetooth, support for wired and wireless, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Let's show you what FM radio would look like. Let's scroll through, and then here is Sirius XM. You have your different favorites down here. So say, for example, I really want Sirius XM 2 to be a favorite. I can touch and hold right there, and that'll replace it. All right, now coming down, we'll skip CarPlay and Android Auto for now. Let's go to vehicle status. You can see your maintenance information. This tells us what our tire pressures are at, as well as oil life. And then either of these, you can click and hit Show in Cluster, and then see how different our gauge cluster looks all of a sudden? It got rid of the center kind of beautiful analog display and gave us more of a fully functional digital display here. And if I didn't want tire pressure, I could do something like go to the center and choose the trip. If I wanted trip information, right here, show in cluster, then there you go. I don't love that setup of having to interface with the center screen to change what I see in my front screen in front of the steering wheel, but for some people it might be a little bit more intuitive. Coming back, can I clear out what's in the center now if I don't want? Do I have a remove? Yeah, remove from cluster, and then we get the pretty gauged cluster again. Also in this screen, you saw your oil life. Go over here. Oh wait, was there more in maintenance? Scroll over. Oh yes, engine air filter life. Okay. Then under gauges, you've got battery voltage and coolant temperature. And under trip, you've got trip information for trip 1 and trip 2. Is there anything more we can see there? Nope, just MPG and distance, and then fuel economy. Coming back home, you can turn your traction control on or off. You can bring up a climate screen if you want to do more than just with the physical controls. I think it's actually just about the same amount of controls, just a different way to do it. Come back home. Skip over settings for a moment. Under Wi-Fi hotspot, you have the ability to provide a Wi-Fi hotspot in the Envista for kids' devices, or maybe a work laptop or something of the like. Coming back home. Then phone. This will allow you to access elements of your phone without using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can make phone calls with the keypad or access your contacts. Come back home, and that is it for apps. So let's dive into settings. Starting in the top, we saw date and time. You can also go into language and choose between English, Spanish, and French. Phones, we're going to use this later to pair up our iPhone and use Apple CarPlay. Wi-Fi networks, you can connect the Envista to an external Wi-Fi network in order to download over-the-air updates. You might want to connect that to your home Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi hotspot, saw this earlier, it's where you can change the password and the name. Under display, you can turn off the display, so if you're driving somewhere maybe at night and you didn't want anything coming up on the center display, you can choose that and just click on the screen to turn it back on. Under sounds, maximum volume at startup. I like this functionality because this makes it so if you're rocking out to music late at night, come home, shut the car off while a song ends maybe, you don't want to get back in the car in the morning and then have it blasting at that same volume. So it's nice having that functionality. Then audible touch feedback, if you have this on, then every time you click on the screen, it's going to make a little touch sound. I prefer having that off. Units, you can choose between US and metric units for things like speed and distance and temperature. Updates, if you're connected to a Wi-Fi network, you could check for software updates. And reset options, if you go to sell your vehicle or if you buy a used Buick Envista, then you might want to reset all the infotainment data to get it like a new car. Coming over to vehicle settings, teen driver, you can set this up so that your teen driver might not be able to listen to the music very loud or won't be able to drive until their seatbelt's plugged in. A few different settings there. Rear seat reminder, when you shut the car off, it'll beep at you to make sure you haven't left anything in the rear seat. You can turn that on or off. Climate and air quality. You can have the auto fan speed be at different speeds. I actually quite like that because I like my auto fan speed to be on low, but some people might want a little bit more air. Collision detection systems. If for some reason you don't like the automatic emergency braking on or the lane change alert notifications or anything in there, you can turn those on or off. Road cross traffic alert perhaps. Comfort and convenience. Chime volume. This is kind of nice. You can make the chimes for seatbelt reminders or key left in vehicle be a little bit quieter. How quiet can we make it? Okay, that quiet apparently. Rain sensing wipers. Right now, if it starts raining, the wipers will come on. If you want those to be off, you can do that. Under lighting, vehicle locator lights, turn those on or off, and exit lighting. How long do you want the lights to stay on after you get out of the vehicle? The vehicle locator lights are just when you come on up, if you want the lights to come on, or when you press the key, unlock it if you want the lights to come on. Power door locks, a little functionality here to make it so you can't accidentally lock yourself out when the key's in the car, and automatically unlock the doors, either one door, driver door, or off when you shift the car into park. Remote lock, unlock, and start. Remote unlock light feedback. Remote lock feedback. Okay, when you lock it, do you want the horn or not? Remote driver door unlock. This is actually one I want all the doors to unlock when I use the remote. Remote start auto heated seats. Okay, very nice. Passive door unlock. I actually also want that to be all doors. So when you come up and press the button on the door, does it open all of them? Passive door lock. When on, your vehicle will automatically lock all doors. When they're closed, you leave the vehicle and take the remote key with you. Cool. A little bit of auto door lock there. That's nice. Key left in vehicle reminder. If you're somebody who has your car, if you leave your keys in the car often and you don't want it to beep at you, you might want that off. It was probably a good functionality to use. Continuing over into apps, I don't think there's going to be much over here. We have audio adjustments, so sound, treble, mid-range, and bass adjustments, as well as fade and balance. And what else? Phone apps. Show active call view when answering call. Different ways to sort your contacts. And then OnStar. Nope, nothing really important there. Okay, now let's test out the voice commands. I think they are very simple and rudimentary since we don't have any built-in navigation here. Wait a minute. Okay, so if you have a phone connected and you simply press the voice command button, it looks like it brings up... Is that going to bring up my phone's voice command? Yes, it's bringing up the phone's assistant. Okay, is there a way then to... Maybe if there's no phone connected. Yeah, interesting. Alright, we'll have to try that later with no phone connected. Okay, now I think it's time to dive into Android Auto. So let's bring that back up here. You can see this is what your home screen will look like. You've got navigation on the left and some suggestions on the right, as well as media, and then your frequently used apps down there on the bottom. It's a little bit squished because we still have the Buick information along the top and the sides. This is what your app screen is going to look like. It's running a little bit slow right now because the phone is filming as well. But there we got your navigation or your applications. Let's bring up Apple or Google Maps. Man, can't speak today. Move around like so. Pinch to zoom. Works very well. Let's bring up YouTube Music. Let's hit the super mix and see what we're getting. Ooh, some Lil Wayne. All right. And come back home to Android Auto and see. That's what it looks like with the media playing, and then all the other info. Now let's show you how to pair up an iPhone. We're going to take our trusty iPhone 13 mini and go to the settings screen and then Bluetooth. And then on the vehicle, we're going to go to Home, Settings, System. Make sure we're scrolled to the top and go to Phones and the big plus icon on the left. If you already have a device connected, it'll ask you if you want to switch phone. Press that. Now, on my iPhone, if I scroll to the bottom, I should see my Buick. I'm going to click that. Oh, interesting. It said pairing unsuccessful. Let's try again. It seems to be connecting to the Pixel. So let's disconnect the Pixel and try this again. This was happening to me earlier this week as well. The car is not showing up on the phone. It's happening to my Android phone, so I'm actually going to turn it off, open the door to shut the system off, and restart the car, we'll try this whole process again. We are still not getting the car to show up, so when in doubt, if you're repairing a phone, grab a cable and plug it in. That's always going to be the easiest way. And right away, we see Apple CarPlay pop up, allow on your phone, and then right here you can enable wireless CarPlay. It'll do all the pairing for you. I don't know why the car and the phone weren't communicating via Bluetooth. I tend to blame the car, considering it did pop up, and then it wouldn't pop up any longer. But nonetheless, here we are with Apple CarPlay. You can see again, navigation on the left, media on the right. We can bring our full app screen here. Looking a little better than Android Auto. The resolution and the format seems to fit the car a little bit better. And again, bring up YouTube Music, see if we have something downloaded here. Okay, some French Montana. And if we come home, we're seeing media on the right, navigation on the left. Let's bring up our nav, we can move around. You cannot pinch to zoom, though, on iPhone for some reason. So that's how that's going to look, and then you can come right on back home to the home Buick screen if you need to with that home button. So there it is, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, the Buick Envista's infotainment system. Simple but effective for a simple and effective car. If there's anything I didn't answer that you'd like to know, ask away in the comments. I'll try to help you from the comment section. If you want to see more on the Envista, check the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.